Hi friends, welcome to another video lecture of this present module. So we shall discuss about and study about Gaussian bivariate random variables. So how do we define the Gaussian variable or Gaussian distribution in two dimensions? So this is called the Gaussian bivariate random variables. So normalized Gaussian single random variables is possible to be extended to two random variables. So let capital Z1 and capital Z2 be the bivariate random variables with outcomes anywhere in the Z1, Z2 plane. That is, that is the Z1 and Z2 have boundaries between minus and infinity and plus infinity, which I define as minus infinity less than Z1, comma Z2 less than infinity. So the PDF for a normalized Gaussian bivariate random variable is given by this equation, which is very important. Fz1 of Z1 comma Z2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of 1 minus rho z the whole square, 1 minus rho z squared into e to the power of minus z1 squared minus 2 rho z z1 z2 plus z2 squared into 1 by 2 into 1 minus rho z squared. Call it equation 47. Let me repeat. The PDF for a two-dimensional normal distribution or standardized Gaussian distribution is given by fz1 z2 of z1 z2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of 1 minus rho z squared into e to the power of minus z1 squared minus 2 rho z z1 z2 plus z2 squared into 1 by 2 into 1 minus rho z squared. Call it equation 47. So here mod of rho z is less than 1 and root of 1 minus rho z squared is greater than 0. That's the assumption. So the PDF for normalized Gaussian random variable Z1 is what we have discussed in the previous module. That is fz1 of Z1 is equal to 1 by 2 pi e to the power of minus Z1 squared by 2 for minus infinity less than Z1 less than infinity. Call it equation 48. Similarly, the PDF for normalized Gaussian random variable Z2 is given by fz2 of z2 is equal to 1 by 2 pi exponent minus z2 squared by 2 for minus infinity less than z2 less than infinity. Call it equation 49. So the means of this z1 z2 is given by e of z1 is equal to e of z2 is equal to mu z equal to 0, and the variances of these two are given by where z1 is equal to where z2 is equal to sigma z squared is equal to 1. Standard normalized Gaussian or normalized normal distribution means it is understood that mean is equal to 0, mean mu z is equal to 0, and variance sigma z squared is equal to 1. Right? And as a normalized Gaussian distribution is 1, whose mean is equal to 0 and variance is equal to 1. That's what we have enumerated here. Then talking about the correlation of bivariate normalized Gaussian random variable. So this is defined as E of Z1 Z2 is equal to double integral minus infinity to plus infinity Z1 Z2 into Fz1 Z2 of Z1 comma Z2 dz1 dz2. Call it equation 52. Now substituting this equation 47 into this equation 52 and doing a very lengthy mathematical simplification gives the final result as expected value of Z1 Z2 is equal to rho z. E of Z1 Z2 is equal to rho z. Call it equation 53. So the parameter rho z appearing in this equation 47 is the correlation of the normalized Gaussian bivariate random variables Z1 and Z2. And apart from that, here the speciality is that the correlation coefficient and the covariance are all equal. The covariance, the correlation coefficient and the correlation are all equal. That is, E of Z1 Z2 is equal to covariance of Z1 Z2 is equal to rho z. Call it equation 54, which is a very important result. Then talking about the general Gaussian bivariate random variables. So for the normalized Gaussian bivariate random variables Z1 and Z2, they have got means equal to 0 and variances equal to 1, and standard deviation also is equal to 1. And they have a correlation coefficient equal to rho z. Now these results can be extended to any general Gaussian bivariate random variables, say x1 and x2, by using the two equations, namely capital X1 is equal to rho x1 capital Z1 plus mu x1, call it equation 55, and capital X2 is equal to rho x2 capital Z2 plus mu x2, call it equation 56. Now here mu x1 is the mean of random variable x1, mu x2 is the mean of random variable x2, sigma x1 and sigma x2 are the standard deviations of the random variables x1 and x2 respectively. So the covariance of random variables x1 and x2 is simply given by, use the definition of the covariance. Covariance of x1, x2 is equal to E of x minus x1, x minus mu x1 into x2 minus mu x2. Let me repeat. Covariance of x1, x2 is defined as E of x1 minus mu x1 into x2 minus mu x2. This is the standard definition. So this is equal to, now substitute equations 55 and 56 into this equation. So if I substitute x1, 55 and 56 equations into this, I get covariance of x1, x2 to be equal to E of sigma x1 z1 plus mu x1 minus mu x1 into sigma x2 z2 plus mu x2 minus mu x2, right? So multiplying and simplifying, I get expected value of sigma x1 sigma x2 z1 z2 plus sigma x1 z1 mu x2 minus sigma x1 z1 mu x2 plus sigma x2 z2 into mu x1 plus mu x1 mu x2 minus mu x1 mu x2 minus sigma x2 z2 mu x1 minus mu x1 mu x2 minus plus mu x1 mu x2. This should be plus. Here he has given us minus, so one should be a little bit careful there. So this cancellation of opposite sign oriented terms and taking common factor and simplifying leads to the expression expected value of sigma x1 sigma x2 into z1 z2. But sigma x1 sigma x2 are constants, so I can take outside the expectation operator. So I get sigma x1 sigma x2 into E of z1 z2. But expected value of z1 z2 is equal to rho z from the previous page which we just defined. But E of z1 z2 is equal to rho z, which is nothing but the covariance of z1 z2, which is equal to 50, which is followed by equation 54. So from equation 54, I can replace E of z1 z2 by rho z. So that's why the covariance of x1 x2 is equal to sigma x1 sigma x2 into rho z. Call it equation 57, which is one of the most important results among all this, all the things that we have discussed now. Next, what would be the sums of two independent random variables? This is very, very important result that is used in statistical signal processing. So sum of two independent random variables. Now suppose if fx of x is the PDF of one random variable capital X and fi of y is the PDF of another random variable capital Y, then we can find the distribution of their sum, which is represented as capital Z is equal to capital X plus Y. So we shall discuss about the mathematical preliminaries that are required for understanding this criteria. Now suppose I have got two. Now let me define a new equation that is obtained by adding there are two random variables capital X and capital Y. Now that I denote it as W is equal to X plus Y, which I call it as equation 58. This is the sum of two random variables. Now if they are independent, what is its mathematical behavior that we are going to study. So here an equation of this sort is obtained by adding a signal, by adding another signal random variable S to an independent noise random variable capital V. Here I would like to stress one important fact here, because you have not yet studied communication engineering still. Now for example, if I take my mobile, if S is the signal that is arriving at the receiver, then along with the signal S that is arriving at the receiver, there would be some noise also associated with it. So noise, if I denote it as N, and if I denote the signal as S, then the signal that is received to me would be consisting of the signal S plus the noise N. Okay, so the noise can be represented as capital N or capital V. Let me repeat. I have my mobile phone, right? I am talking to my friend over my mobile. So I shall be receiving the actual signal, which I denoted as S, and I shall also be getting noise also along with that, which I denote it as V. So it would not be only the signal that is arriving, it would be a signal plus noise that is arriving at my mobile. So that's why the incoming signal would be consisting of the sum of the actual signal and the noise variable. Noise needs to be detected, modeled mathematically, detected what sort of noise is it, and then filtered out or weeded out in order to maximize the signal strength. That is the epitome of signal processing. Okay, so that's why we have a signal random variable capital S with independent noise random variable V. So that I denote it as the sum of S and V, I denote it as capital W. So W is equal to S plus V. Call it as equation 59. Now another application is summing the independent observations of the same random variable. So suppose I have got two observations x1 and x2 along related to capital X. Then if I sum those two and I assume that x1 is independent of x2 and vice versa. So then the sum of this x1 and x2 also I denote as W, capital W. So if we know the means and the variances of the random variables x and y, right, then we can calculate the mean and variance of W using the linearity properties of the expectation operator. So mean is simply given by E of W is equal to E of x1 plus x2, and mu W is given by mu x1 plus mu x2. Okay, E of W is given by E of x1 plus x2, mu W is given by mu x1 plus mu x2, call it equation 60. But what about the variance? Use the definition of the variance. So variance is given by sigma W squared is equal to E of W minus mu W the whole square. Now W is equal to x plus y. W is equal to x plus y. So that's why this becomes E of x plus y minus mu W is equal to mu x1 plus mu x2. So here minus mu W I have. So x plus y minus mu x minus mu y under the whole squared under the expectation operator I have. So simplify this by using the A plus B, the whole squared formula. So I get E, arrange the terms and then expand. Don't expand like that. Otherwise it would be A plus B plus C plus D whole to the power of 2. Not that. Arrange the terms and expand it suitably. So if I do so and expand using the A plus B the whole squared is equal to A squared plus 2AB plus B squared, after rearranging the terms and then expanding, which I need to stress, I get E of x minus mu x the whole squared plus 2 into x minus mu x into y minus mu y plus y minus mu y the whole squared. Or break this into the sum of three expectation operators. So this gives me E of x minus mu x the whole squared plus 2 E of x minus mu x into y minus mu y plus E of y minus mu y the whole squared. Using the definitions, I get sigma W squared is equal to sigma x squared plus 2 covariance of xy plus sigma y squared. This is the definition of variance. This is also the definition of variance with respect to x, and this is with respect to y. This is the definition of covariance. So that's why I get this relation. And as x and y are independent, the covariance between them is equal to 0. So since they are independent, so this the second term or the middle term becomes 0. So 2 into 0 is 0 because covariance of xy is 0 when x and y are independent. So that's why I get sigma W squared is equal to sigma x squared plus sigma y squared, which is one of the very most important equations in multi-dimensional random variables. Call it equation 61. Other things we should discuss in the next video. Thank you.